So Ian Blackford is finally shuffling off, is he?
Ian Blackford's off to a new role in business engagement prior to independence, and of course we know that the polls are showing independence up 4 points ahead of remaining in the UK, which says a lot for the UK, really. That the fact that a huge part wants to go, and Ian Blackford will be playing a big role in that going forward.
Yeah, but it does make it even more unbelievable then that he's gone of his own accord, isn't it? Because he's spent his entire political career fighting for independence. If your poll is correct, then you've predominantly, I suppose you could say, on the cusp of it, only just a couple of years away from it. There's absolutely no way in hell that he's just gone.
Well, Ian Blackford lives in the Isle of Skye and I live in the Outer Hebrides, and it's quite a distance still, and for me it's 2 flights for Ian Blackford. It's a long way to go that. And
is that why he racks up loads is that why he racks up hundreds of thousands of pounds in taxpayers' expenses?
Well, there's one way to end all the taxpayers' expenses for Scottish MPs, and that's Scottish independence, and we're here to help.
Yeah, to help. OK, all right. Look, there are serious concerns, frankly, from a lot of people, which is the idea that basing a next general election, which is what Nicola Sturgeon appears desperate to do, basing the next general election on a single issue, i.e. independence, would completely absolve her of anything else. So, for example, a relatively shoddy record when it comes to the NHS, the education system, the drug crisis that's going on there, and, rather inconveniently as well, the issue of trans rights, or indeed, I suppose, lack of women's rights. This is quite a shrewd political move, isn't it, to just ignore everything else? And frankly, that is completely undemocratic.
Well, it's unusual to be criticised and praised in the one question. So I'll take the praise part. I mean, we do know the SNP are riding high in the polls in Scotland. We do know that independence is popular, and we do know that the Supreme Court blocked the question of enabling a referendum to happen in Scotland. But they did give great validity to the ballot box and said the ballot box carried authority, and we couldn't have a referendum instigated at Holyrood because that authority would make Westminster Act. Ergo, we know that the ballot box therefore has authority, and we can use those ballot boxes, the same ballot boxes, at an election rather than a referendum. And that gives authority to the Scottish people to do what they want. And
but it's not
Scottish people who are sovereign, not Westminster, within a union.
But sorry, with absolute respect, that's tosh, isn't it? Because you don't go to a general election on a single issue, do you? Because that's what a referendum is for. So if I voted, if I was desperate for independence, if I was desperate for independence, right, I might be desperate for independence, but I might not agree with the SNP's idea that we should have men in women's prisons. But I would vote SNP, would I? Which would mean I would get independence and men in women's prisons.
Well, after independence, we're going to have, everybody understands this in Scotland, you will have an election, a post-independence election, so it'll be a reset. But the important thing is, in a free and fair democracy and an election, you can go to the public with whatever manifesto you want, and the public is free to vote on whatever manifesto they want. So that's kind of the way democracy works. And if the people choose to vote for that prospect, then the people will have the authority when they speak to the ballot box, and to do so in majority. Majority will have the authority to get what it wants.